down, it's got to be written better or something. Now, you know, for something, by the way, some people don't have that problem, right? They write down anything, yes. So if you're having that problem, don't worry about it. Just write it down. Okay, so let's just go over this. Calcium comes out, binds to troponin, and that alters its shape, which alters the shape of tropomyosin, which slides off, allowing the myosin head to bind. Now, if you don't know the words, just say it binds to troponin. Then this thing, you know, the thinnest filament moves, and the key is now the head can bind. Yes? And here, I want to show you this, because here's the head. Once the head binds, yes? Once the head binds, as long as calcium is present, it is going to keep pulling it in. I want to point this out. It's going to keep pulling it in. As long as calcium is present. So here we have calcium present. As long as calcium is present, it will detach, yes, ratchet, bind, power stroke, yes? So it power strokes, detaches, ratchets, binds, yes? So it's always doing this. Pulling in, right? Pulling in, right? Pulling in. As long as you have calcium. And that's where you get the twitch, right? Calcium levels, as they increase, the tension increases. Yes? Until what happens to cause the tension to decrease? Okay, no more calcium. What happens? How do you have no more calcium? Yes. Okay, this is not on these diagrams. I wish it was. Calcium gets pumped back in here. So don't think this. Do not think this. Don't think that calcium comes out and you run out of it. Right? Well, when calcium comes out, the maximum tension is when all the heads are allowed to bind. Yes? Maximum calcium. So what happens is calcium gets pumped back in here using ATP, and that is the relaxation phase. Yes? Yes. Yeah.
When neurotransmitter are released and all that,
Yeah.
that door that lets calcium go out
This door here.
is open constantly
It
until
is open during the twitch the whole time, and then it's going to close. Once it closes,
okay.
it comes, yes.
While it's open,
Yeah.
the calcium that are like somewhere is coming in again. It's like
No. Bunch of calcium just
stays
leaving.
there. It stays
It
there
stays in the cytosol, yes.
until it goes
Until it closes, and of course when it closes, it doesn't rise anymore, and it decreases the calcium levels because you're pumping it in.
But after closing, start pumping in the calcium.
Yes, I mean, I don't know the exact timing, but shortly after or before it closes, right? Or maybe a little bit before it closes. All I know is that it's open, it's coming out, and calcium levels are increased. And then, if this just closed, calcium levels would stay the same. At that moment, maybe a moment after, maybe a moment before, you're pumping calcium in. And that is decreasing the levels. And once you pump all of it in, then all of it in, right? Then you have no calcium to bind, right? This is a calcium, which is actually a little ball on the little ball, yes? Are you seeing this? Yes? This is a little ball on the little ball. But now you don't have any calcium on the troponin. If that's the case, then the tropomyosin is in such a situation that it blocks the head from binding. Yes? Okay. So I mean, this is muscle contraction. And no matter how you look at it, you just look at it this way. And I told you, as long as you have calcium, what you have to understand is just not one. A twitch is not one movement. It's not one power stroke. It's all the power strokes in that bolus of calcium coming out. Yes. And then, of course, if you want to get a stronger contraction, what do? What do I mean a strong contraction? Here's a contraction. It is yay big due to this action potential. Then you get another action potential, and you have the same tension. Yes? Another action potential and the same tension. How do you get a greater tension?
Increase the frequency of the action.
Increase the frequency of the action potentials. If you fire the action potentials in rapid succession, you can get this muscle fiber to its maximum tension, what is called what? Tetanus. So there you go. Twitch, twitch, tetanus. Now if I want something stronger, what can I do?
Well, you're gonna have to,
Access more fibers.
You gotta have more fibers, yes? If you want something, this is it. By definition, what is this? Maximum is the maximum, yes? If it wasn't, they'd call it something else. Submax, this is a maximum. You can't get any more out of that muscle fiber. So, if you want a strong contraction, you have to recruit other muscle fibers, and we'll talk about that, okay? Now, let me point this out. For sure, when you lift weights, yes? A single muscle fiber might be, in relative speaking, this thick because of the actin and myosin filaments in it, and you can make it bigger. The single fiber gets more actin and myosin filaments in it. That's what happens when you're lifting weights. Testosterone and other hormones will allow you to make more proteins for your muscles, and your individual muscle cells will get bigger, and your whole muscle will get bigger. So then what will happen to the maximum tension of that muscle fiber?
Increase.
It'll be higher. Okay, look, this is when you start lifting, you lift so much, and then later you can lift a little bit more. Tell you something more about lifting. I'll tell you now. I'm sure many of you, especially the older people, have lifted weights, right? But then you've taken some time off and you've gone back to lifting weights like after a year or 2 years or maybe 3 years. How many people have done that? Okay. Raise your hand, I gotta know, right? Yes? No? Okay. Well, when you go back to lifting weights, your initial increase in strength has nothing to do with your muscle fibers getting bigger. You hear what I said? Nothing to do. It is all neurological. It is all because, well, let's say a strange movement like an incline press or something. Well, that movement, those muscle fibers, the synapses from the motor neurons, they haven't fired in that pattern in 3 years or 3 months or whatever. So getting those motor neurons to the right muscles and getting them activated again is what accounts for the increase in strength you get the first month of coming back to lift. Then after that, the muscle fibers. And look, the studies are quite clear. How do we know this? We actually measure the muscle fibers, right, in somebody whose strength is increasing. And we notice that, wow, during the first part, when actually the increase in strength is the greatest, right? Let's say you bench 250 one time, right? You come back and you haven't lifted in a couple years, you're probably down to 160, 170. Then you get quite quickly back up to like 220. You get, you gain 60 pounds quite quickly. All that is due to the motor neurons reacquainting themselves with the muscles. Yes, does this make sense? Okay. I found that interesting when I studied it, and why am I telling you this? Because your muscles aren't getting any bigger, right? After that, they'll get bigger. Okay, but the initial increases are due to that. Yes, question.
now what do you call muscle memory?
No, muscle memory is something different. Muscle memory is largely with, well, I think golf's the best example. You can do any example. Basketball. Basketball, your memory is, well, as I shoot, as this arm goes here, the fingers go about this point, right? That's muscle memory. Kicking a soccer ball, whatever. When you first learn to kick, you got to learn that. But after that is muscle memory. The worst sport is golf, of course, because there's too many moving parts. But muscle memory, this is why you take the practice swing to get that memory. But the memory is really grooved over your training period. Baseball's another example. I mean, hitting a baseball, I got to tell you, it might look easy at a batting cage, but when someone's throwing 95 miles per hour, that's when you can tell if you're a good baseball player. Anybody can hit in high school, college. You start seeing people pitch that fast, and you got to have that. Tony Gwynn was one of the best. If you ever saw him play, he was just great. He just sit there and he just knew. I mean, he wasn't nervous, right? Because he was so good at. But that's muscle memory. That's different than the strength increases due to you getting your motor neurons reacquainted with your muscles. It's called synaptic rearrangement. Is what it's called. Good. Okay, we're here. We might as well talk about this now. So, look, you got single twitch. Now you're at tetanus. And then what can happen? I'll tell you, I'm holding this up, right? First of all, how long can I do this? almost forever. Why? Your big muscles, yes? How long can I do this?
No.
Not very hard, right? If you're moving a couch, what do? Right? Use your big muscles. Don't use your little muscles. They fatigue quickly. But here's what I'm getting to. You can hold something. I don't care how strong you are, right? Eventually, you ever see those guys? Atlas hold? World's strongest men? I love those guys. Madison Madison, Yoko Ono, Marcus Busanowski, Sport Carlson. There's all the winners for the past 20 years. The Atlas holds the greatest one. They got this boot, right? I don't know how much weight, 500 pounds or something. And they can hold it for like 30 seconds, a minute. Eventually what happens? Fatigue. How would you define fatigue? Define fatigue with the word tension in it. Anybody? Go ahead. Say it.
Muscles lose tension due to fatigue.
Muscles lose tension. So I would say this, the inability to maintain tension, yes? Or the complete inability to maintain tension, right? That's fatigue, yes? The inability to maintain tension. Try to come up with that. So let's just stop here. And there is a question on the study sheet. I want you to come up with a couple methods of fatigue. So come up with one, or two, or three, or four. Just come up with any one. Any one, I'll be happy. Talk to each other. Come up with any method of fatigue. You don't even have to look at this. Doesn't have to do with this either. Doesn't have to do with this.
Getting tired?
I love when that clock does. You see that? It stalls and it goes fast. What's going on at that time, right? So for a moment we're going slow and then it feels inaccurate.